Guys, what is up? It is Kansas Kid. Everyone has been talking about the GSR and how the GSR is looking better, but no one has mentioned the GCR. And the GCR is the gold to copper ratio. And this is what I'm interested in. Gold to copper ratio. Is copper the next big thing? Is copper the best investment of the decade? Let's talk about some numbers real quick. This right here is equivalent. If I was going to trade where the market's at right now, it would be all of this copper would equal this amount of silver. Actually, I'm 3 ounces short on this because it would be 178 ounces. So this is what you would have to trade to get 1 ounce of silver. And that's a straight across trade. So let's talk about the GCR real quick. So we all know that silver and gold, the precious metals, they go off of troy ounces. Copper does not go off of troy ounces. Copper goes off of just your regular basic, it's the ADVP scale to your 16 ounces in a pound, right? And they go by pounds because it's so minuscule if you break it down to ounces. So, if you're looking at copper and you break it down into ounces, for 1 ounce of copper, it is 0.3156. So it's like, to round up, it's 32 cents an ounce. That is what it is, 32 cents an ounce. So if you take the price, right? So we have the price of copper. And then you have to take the price of gold, right, or silver, and you divide those prices. That's how you figure out because they're on 2 different weight scales. So we're doing it off of price. So if we take this for 1 ounce of copper, and the asking price for silver right now is $56.45, it would take 178.85 ounces of copper to equal 1 ounce of silver. Now, not a lot of people talk about the GCR, right? So is that a good deal? Am I at a spot where I need to trade all this copper for 1 ounce of silver? Let's talk about gold, the actual GCR, gold to copper ratio. So at 0.31, rounded up to 32, 0.315625 is your 1 ounce of copper. Gold price right now, asking price, is $42.2040. It would take 13,371.56 ounces of copper to equivalent the price of 1 ounce of gold. 13,371. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't have room to store 13,000 ounces of silver, let alone 13,000 ounces of copper. Just doesn't make sense, right? But if I had 13,000 ounces of copper, is this like, oh man, this is the time to trade? This is the time to swap, because copper's up? I don't know. That's what I'm asking. You guys tell me. So let's talk a little bit more about this, okay? So we know that silver and gold are precious metals. Copper is a base metal. It is not considered a precious metal. An average ounce right now for an average cost, and I just went over a few different sites, the average cost of 1 ounce of copper is $2.29. Okay, so if you buy 1 ounce of copper, $2.29, and it takes 13,371.56 ounces of copper to equal 1 ounce of gold, it would cost you $30,000. Over $30,000. $30,620.87 to equal your $4,220 ounce of gold. At silver, it would cost you $409.56. That would be, in silver, to be 11.17 pounds. That's absolutely crazy. So to have copper, be the next best thing, something very, 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 very drastic would have to change. Very drastic. Do I like this stuff here? Yeah. These are fun. These are cool. These will sit on my coffee table. People come over and, it's a conversation piece. It's this right here was poured. Big old chunk. Look at that big old chunk. From HD Dyna Lowrider back in 2022. Poured this for me. Now I got this at the price of copper. It was whatever it was per pound. And I sent him, I don't know, $7. And he sent me this thing. But that's what I'm saying. The gold to copper ratio is absolutely insane. But I don't play the ratios. So I need you guys to tell me, do I need to be trading all this in for 1 ounce of silver? So, in perspective, when you talk about the numbers and you're, throwing it out there, pretty crazy stuff, isn't it? Pretty crazy stuff. I want to know what you guys think. Guys, I appreciate your time, and I'll talk to you soon.